And when I then look at, some of the big hitting bits of news or best finds or discoveries throughout 2022, it then takes me back to 5th of February 2022. I get a message from David Phillips in New Zealand. So David and I have had a bit of conversation back and forth over the year. Hi Jez, it's been an amazing event here over in New Zealand and Australia. 6 mint on card Australian Toltoy 12 backs came up for an auction at the New Zealand auction site, all listed for 12 quid a pop to start with. 12 quid a pop. Combined, they went for over 50,000 New Zealand dollars, which was the equivalent then of 25,000 UK pounds. What David did is he watched this, he recorded it, but gave it a sort of narrative, live streamed it. He's got it all there with such amazing footage of the auction in real time, and the sort of, the shock, the excitement. He actually said as it was all coming together, it was like, the final day of the Premiership when they were going between matches, watching people and, seeing who's vying for the top slot and who's getting what. She's got some amazing sort of footage of this event, and it was really, really well documented. It was such a huge sort of historical thing from a Toltoys point of view in New Zealand and Australia. What we are going to do, we're going to put this together and produce a little video just to document this, because David has shared with me some great articles and some great blogs, because this truly was, a really rare card backs and a treat for people on a real sort of rainy, drizzly New Zealand day. We got all the good stuff from David. Outstanding.
In, kid? Okay, stay sharp.
So I thought I'd do a video. It's a Saturday afternoon here in Wellington, New Zealand, and this is going to follow the end of these 6 auctions here on Trade Me, which is an auction site based here in New Zealand. So a bit like eBay, but has a few different rules compared to eBay. And basically what's come up is 6 vintage Star Wars figures from the Australian company Toltoys, so licensed by Kenner in the USA and produced by Toltoys. And these are exceptionally rare pieces and very sought after, and incredible that they even exist. There are 6 items altogether. There's the Han Solo, there's the Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, C-3PO, Darth Vader, and Obi-Wan Kenobi. And let's jump into the Han Solo one quickly. So the main thing about these ones is that they are all 12 backs. So that means there are 12 figures on the back of the card. Later on there are other cards, 21 backs, 32 backs, 48 backs, 65 backs, 79 backs, and probably a few others I've forgotten. But that's what describes them. See, these are the early ones released in 77. And so these were marketed and produced by Toltoys Australia, hence this logo here, Toltoys, compared to the Kenner equivalent version, which was produced in the States and in a few other places. So this is the Australian version on it. It's still got the price tag, look, $2.99. And as you can see on this, right now we got 123 watches. It closes in 7 hours time. We've got 24 bids and it's $704. Now, all of these items were put on Trade Me last weekend, $25 start point. The seller had no idea what they had based on some of the questions that they've answered, just did not know about the interest of them. And it's going to be an incredible thing to kind of watch. There are a lot of big players talking about these. I have an interest in them. I don't think I've got deep enough pockets to own them, but I might have a punt. And it's just going to be an incredible thing to watch. I'm making this quick video early on so that we can see where the prices are at right now. So we got 700 on the Han, on the Luke 600, 680 on the Leia, 650. The seller's probably thinking, wow, that's incredible, probably won't go much higher than that. But, and we'll come back to this again a bit later, Star Wars Tracker, which is an amazing thing made by Jared Cope that tracks Star Wars prices. I've searched in several years worth of Toltoys to look at some of the prices based on here. And as you can see, let me just find the Darth Vader one and things like that quickly to show you, and we'll come back to this again a bit later. There is a Darth Vader one on here for, where has it gone? There we go. Sold last year, $24,000 for this Toltoys one. So anyway, we'll come back to these a bit later on. We'll look at these in a bit more detail. I just wanted to do a really quick sort of intro while the prices were, shall we say, relatively low. The Star Wars community is buzzing on these right now, and at 8 o'clock this evening, 8:08, 8:13, 8:16, 8:24, 8:25 and 8:27, we're going to see where they go. It's going to be in the thousands, and we'll watch it live. So I'll come back to you later on. Cool. Hey, so just coming back to this a few hours later on, and I've been watching these all afternoon, and I'm yet to refresh this particular page. You can see the total right now from earlier on was nearly $4,000. Obviously we've got this one still in there, and if I was to refresh this page, I think we'll see that's jumped a little bit now. So Han is gone to just over $1,000. Luke's still a bit lower. Leia just over 1,000. 700 on 3PO. Ben's leapt to 1,000, and the Darth is at 800. I'm also hearing left, right, and centre through Facebook messages that the Australian collectors are just finding out about this, or have done this afternoon. A lot of buzz on all of the Star Wars collecting forums on Facebook, and they're hearing about these. And the Toltoys, because Toltoys was a Australian producer for representative for Kenner, the Australian market is one of the biggest markets and collectors of Toltoys, and we can see this one 28 bids so far. And we've got lots of new. I know that this this buyer is in Australia. Not sure about this one, but I wouldn't be at all surprised if some of the Australians haven't got Trade Me accounts, which is understandable because not everyone has, and could be using connections here in New Zealand to buy on their behalf. Or may well have just recently got Trade Me accounts. But certainly when looking at the Facebook pages that they are coming in, and if I jump to my friend Mr. Harris here, we can see that on the Australian Toys and Collectibles page that was posted, a certain member, and maybe I've got to blank that out, a certain member of the New Zealand contingency decided, actually posted 21 hours ago, so it was posted a lot longer ago than I thought. So that was some point on Friday afternoon they would have found out about that. But it's super interesting and amazing for the seller. There's a little bit, it would have been really nice to have flown under the radar, and I could have maybe picked up Luke, but I don't think that's going to happen. But yeah, really interesting now. So what's the total at now? Maybe it doesn't show that. So just over an hour and 40 minutes to go, and some big numbers coming in now. But most importantly, and this is kind of the interesting thing, 146 watches on the Han there, for example. If I go to my Trade Me, let's have a look at the my watch list and see if it says how many watches. I might actually have to go into each individual advertisement, but let's see, a little bit slow coming in here. So 146 watches on Han. Let's have a quick look in Leia. 143. So it's the same groups of people probably. And when we look at these cards, look at the things. There's no bubble damage. These have found out today as well that these have been. They were bought by a mother. A lady who in the 70s, and she lives in Gore in the South Island, as you can see here. She lives in Gore, and apparently the owner of them, or who they were bought for, lives in Wellington area, and clearing out through the mother's attic of some old toys, found these, had totally forgot them many years ago. They weren't gifted, decided to put them on Trade Me, get rid of some, make some space, with no idea of how valuable they were at all, hence the $25 starting point. Again, if I was to jump back in and we have a quick look here at the Toltoys on Jared Coates' Star Wars tracker, we can go and look at this one here. We can see that this one was a $24,000 sale. This particular one I know was in a auction in the UK. I'm going to guess it was Vectus, but it might have been Hakes, who do lots of Star Wars stuff. So that has got a buyer's premium on top of it. I think it sold for... No, I think the Leia sold for £5,500. Yeah, that would be about right. This one here, £5,500. So that would be. Oh, here we go. So if I get the layer one up, you can see this. Oh, come back. Hold on a second. I'm more used to using the tracker on my phone. Sorry, Jared. I'm sure it is. Click on here. Full details. Okay, so Toltoy Australia, vintage Princess Leia, good with dented bubble, fair back, realised price £5,800. Buyer's premium 24%. So a sale price of £7,000. So Kiwi dollars, let's double that, 14,000 as it's got on there. So 14,000. Let's jump back to the auction right now. That's going for $1,000 with an hour and 45 minutes. Now, everyone who's looking at these, or most of the people who are seriously buying them, they have the same data that I've got. So when you think about the world of resellers as we know it, you're going to drop a couple of grand on something you know is worth possibly 14. Let's take the buyer's premium off. Let's say it's worth 10 and the market's going up. This is a nicer version. Bit of a dent on the bubble from what I can see there. But it doesn't look like it's split in any way. It's unpunched, although the punch is there. And then look at that. $2.99. Not many things you buy apart from a house in 1977 that would increase that much. Anyway, 1 hour 44 minutes to go. We'll come back to this in a little while. We'll keep an eye on it and see how the auctions end. Just a few minutes later from where we were, I think it's still got like an hour and 20 to go, and I just had a quick look. I'm going to refresh this page. Look. Dong. Ben Kenobi has leapt up. Let's just have a go. Look, up to $2,000. So someone has obviously thrown in a chunky bid. So looks like here, if we look at this Wampa Wayne has had a couple of bids, bit of to and fro, 637, 637, and Wampa Wayne said, nah, I'm having it for $2,000. And Jack Cat Molly Dog said, I'm not out of the game yet, buddy. So really, really interesting. I really wish I could have the seller. I was trying to get the seller to have a conversation with me while this was happening towards the end. And again, just so interesting watching all these kind of grow and sit. I mean, 1,000 there still, 1,000 on Leia. We knew a few of them would pass 1,000, but we didn't think it would happen. Sort of still an hour and a half to go. Saturday night in New Zealand, it's pretty crappy weather everywhere, so there's a lot more people going to be at home. I'm certainly getting the popcorn out, and fingers crossed you enjoyed listening and watching this. If you weren't aware of it, that's why I'm recording this, is those are people who weren't aware of it, who didn't watch it go down. I think it's a really important thing for the Star Wars collecting community, and as a sort of track of pricing. It's going to go bonkers. I am going to predict at this stage some of these are going to get up to possibly close to $10,000 a piece. That's my prediction. I think the rare ones like Ben and Leia, I think they're rarer, will go higher. Anyway, come back for more in a short while. Keep watching. Right, so we're about half an hour now before the first auction finishes, and I'm going to refresh this page because I do know that things have leapt up in price a little bit more. So there we go, look at that, they're all north of 1,000 now. 1,260 for Han, 1,200 for Luke, 1,380, 1,000 for just topped a grand now for 3PO. And 1,001 then, 2,000 on Ben. And if we just dive into these real quick, let's have a quick look just to see who the people are bidding, just out of interest. Okay, so same name popping up here, which is I don't know who that is. Sith Lord. I've seen that name before. Can't think exactly who that is. Obviously a Star Wars fan. Yes, I do know who that is. Up in Matamata. He's a known Star Wars collector in the community. So 1260 there, and perhaps people are starting to think they might just go for one of these. Unlike in a auction hall or whatever, there'd be one at a time, one. These are all finishing really close to each other. And one of the other really important things about this as well to note is that compared to eBay, Trade Me doesn't have an end. It has an end time, 8:08 p.m, but it has a 2-minute extension on every bid that's made. So if a bid is made at 8:08, it'll be a 2-minute extension. There's got to be no bids for 2 minutes before it closes down. So I don't know how many of the overseas sellers are aware of this, but in the last minute we might see a flurry of really high bids because they think it might be the eBay style where the highest bid gets it in the last second, whereas that's not the case. On eBay, that is, you miss out by a second whether you've got 10 grand more or not, you don't get it. Let's dive into Luke real quickly, just go and have a look, and watches have gone up as well. 37, yep, same people there. So there's obviously a couple of people who are throwing them the bids on at this point. All new people there, but I do know some of these as Kiwi-based collectors. So we could say that maybe there's some different people going for different ones, which is awesome. Okay, again, Jason and Sith Lord up there. Steve, I think if I remember rightly, this is a chap in Auckland who I kind of know. Oh no, he's in Invercargill. Maybe he's in different person I'm thinking of. But I do know a Star Wars collector called Steve, based in Auckland, who I do know is watching these, and we might see him. Don't know everyone's tags, so or username, should I say? So 3PO, $1,000. 63 bids so far. Okay, maybe that was the one I just looked at. Darth. Now, this is the one that's likely to rocket up. It is unpunched. It is a nice card though. Bubble looks really good. It's got the price sticker, $2.99, and then the back of it, a couple of little creases, but nothing to. Racetrack all looks good. Again, 12 back. And the early 12 pack. We do have variations on the 12 pack, so I'm not 100% sure if this is the A or B version. I think there's a C version as well. Not 100% sure on the backs myself. And the last one in the order here is Obi-Wan. And the Obi-Wan is 2061. Again, some of the same kind of bidders. Still got a little way to go, and if I jump to this watch list, and refresh it, we can actually see a more specific times. One of the other auctions on the same seller has leapt up to $200 with 38 seconds to go. So interesting here, we've got a couple of people bidding on this item. This isn't Star Wars, but it's interesting to see. That's my alarm going off to remind me to stop what I'm doing, come watch these auctions. And you'll see 20 seconds. So this will give you an example of what happens on Trade Moon. It's coming down. If someone bids in that last second, it will refresh back to 2 minutes. It looks like Schuper may be out of the game on this one, and Rand M4 may be closing it out at $200 and made a statement with that. We'll see if this closes out. Just to give you an example, yep, so that's going to be one, and this is a Star Trek item, not Star Wars, but just to give you a good insight of how that works on the Trade Me platform. This is a different way of viewing the thing with an auction watcher. I can still tap in, and we're at now $8,560 in total for those 7 including the 200 there, and 56 minutes to go. I still predict north of 5k for most of them. Jumping back onto the Trade Me site, it's been a few minutes later. It's now 7:43, so we're getting closer. Look, leaping 2.5 on then we've got 24 minutes left to go on this. 2.5 on Luke, 1600 on Leia, 1200 on 3PO, just over 2 on Darth, and just over 2. Imagine what the sellers are going through right now when they put these on for $25 a pop. So just sort of looking again at these real quickly at the Toltoys side of things. These are Aussie Toltoys. So they were made for the Star Wars market, licensed by Kenner and created by by Toltoys in Australia, hence this logo. And it's this blue logo on the front that is the kicker on this. If that was a Kenner version of the same carded one, again, it's going to be worth a fair bit of money, but nothing like some of the prices that we're seeing on Star Wars Tracker and things like that. If I was to just do a quick look for 12 Han Solo 12 back. So here's to give you an example. There's a good one here. So you can see here there's the 12 back here with the Kenner. So this is Toys R Us, so it could be a US one or a UK based one, and then you compare that to the Toltoys one, obviously with that big logo, and it's this that pulls the money. There is also a New Zealand version of Toltoys, doesn't have the logo on there, but is very collectible and even more scarce than the Australian one. But it's got to be said that the market for these is just phenomenal. We can see here. Let's go. We've got a couple of new people jumping in, but this buyer is obviously going hard out on Han Solo. We've got 22 minutes to go on this one, and we will keep watching and see where it leads. Exciting stuff. Let's jump back to the overall one and refresh this page. We'll jump back in and refresh this one as well, because this one's quite cool. Gives us a total. Look at that. They're leaping. $13,000 on that now. It was $6,000 or $7,000 a while before. Han has leapt up 3,000. And there was me thinking I might snag one. Doesn't seem to be the case. Okay. So jumping forward now, only a few minutes left to go, and I'm going to refresh this. As you can see, Han has leapt up to $6,500. $6,650. Luke $3,000. Leia $2,500. This is in order of when they're going to finish. So we've got 14 minutes left here. And I'm just chatting with other collectors online. few people guessing online on what some of these prices might be, and a few guesses going in the £5,000 mark, which is about 10 grand or something like that. And I don't think, and that's going to be far off, really, to be honest with you. 13 minutes to go on Han. Now, I really did think I was going to have a punt on one of these, but holy smokes. People asking me if I'm going for any. I don't really have the sorry about that. I don't really have the buying potential to dive into any of these. Let's just go look at Han at this point. So with 18 minutes to go, it's at 5.5. Refresh this page. 12 minutes to go, 6.5. Let's see if we've got any new bidders coming in on that. Yep, looks like we have. Well, kind of. No, one popping in and then sitting out, popping back in again. Yeah. Just chatting with a Star Wars collector, with Jared Cope actually, who builds the Star Wars tracker, this is the Star Wars tracker that Jared has built, and you can sign up to just Star Wars tracker. Quick punt for him, mobile or on. I've got it on my Mac here, and you can search through any of the vintage items, and it tracks their prices. And again, looking back, there isn't a Han sold in a long time, some of these Toltoys ones you're seeing on here for less money, these are Aussie Toltoys carded figures, but they don't have the logo, so they're not in the first 12. These are later Return of the Jedi ones, which have an Australian address on the back, and therefore they're a Toltoys Australia. But to the average, should we say, someone looking at them, they don't look a lot different from the Kenner ones, and in fact they say Kenner on the front. The ones with the actual Toltoys logo on the front, they're the ones that make the big money, and they, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, they're normally the Star Wars carded ones, and I think either 12 backs, maybe 21 backs, but so just shunt this out of the way. We'll go back and we'll look at the full list, and we'll give that a quick refresh. Six and a half and 9 minutes left on Han. The others will creep up as 3PO has done so. Oh, look, and has Darth Vader as well. It's jumped. Let's just jump this back and see where Darth is. I'll leave that one page on here. So 34 minutes ago, just over 3, and with 34 minutes to go, it was at just over 3. So 10 minutes later, it's nearly 5. And let's just see who's throwing in there. So there's some slightly different names in here, and also people with no feedback. And I'm going to suspect that's people somewhere in the world who have seen this, who have managed. Well, I think you can only be in Australia or New Zealand, and I'd have to double check. I'm guessing they're Australian collectors who have just jumped on board of Trade Me to for this auction. And I mean, that's brilliant for the seller. It really, really is. And compared to if they were on sale at Vectus or in look here, Darren in Australia. So he's jumping on board there. Good luck, Darren. And then the other seller that's going for the Darth one there. Now, if I don't know if you remember, if we look back here at the Darth Vader, the other Darth Vader that sold. Let's look at the details of this one on Jared's Star Wars Tracker. So, full details on this. So, I mean, look at the state of this card in comparison. And it's also a different back. So, this is a 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 back. Might be a 21 back. Yeah, 20 back. It's a 20 back one, it says there. Yellowed bubble, lots of creases. Looks like it's unpunched. Sold at Vectus for £12,000, £12,400, $24,000. So price went for £10,000, £10,000 for that. And this, as you can see from the condition in comparison to the one that is up right now, let's go side by side. I mean, look, great bubble, no dinks, no dents, no yellowing. Great card. This has got a price on it. I quite like the price being on it. We know it was $2.99, just phenomenal. So, you know, has it got the potential to go to $20,000 over the next 24 minutes? Really depends who's there. But if the people watching this right now and the people who are bidding and these Australians coming in, they know what these are worth. And they know that they are worth. They could be worth on the open market into those big UK or US collector spaces, Hakeses or Vectus on eBay, where there's a wider reaching market than just little old Trade Me here in New Zealand. Different ball game. So that could happen with all of them, and we've still got 23 minutes left to go. 6 minutes counting down here now on Han with a $7,000 market price, a sale price so far. That is sure to move up a little bit more, and the sellers have got to be just their sellers have got to be loving it. So still sat with Jared Cope and 6 minutes. Let's refresh this out. See what's going down. 7,000, still 7,000. They're reaching good numbers. Four minutes to go. I mean, what's really interesting now is why I'm looking at these across the whole thing, is that they are finishing so close to each other, and because of the 2-minute extension that happens, and I don't know if the Aussies know this, but because of the 2-minute extension, this could just keep rolling round, and the Han could still be going, 15-20 minutes later if people just keep bidding that extra little bit. So we've got Darth has gone up to 4,900, 3.5 for Leia, 3.5. I'm out of the game completely. I get in too much trouble if I bid on any of these. and we'll see where they're going. I want to keep. I might just jump into Hahn as a loner one. So Hahn is 7.5, and we've got 2 minutes. So we're dropping into Hahn in that kind of point where we're getting into that refresh time. So refresh time here. So 2 minutes to go, and the 2 minutes that will count. So if anyone bids now, it will go back to 2 minutes again. So we've got these people going, another new people coming in. Other people coming in right now. So we've got 2 minutes. So I'm going to keep this refreshed here, and we'll count that one down. So 1 minute 55 seconds, and it's counting down live now, which is what it does. If my machine can refresh it that quickly, I'm just going to jump onto here, because sometimes this will do a better actual countdown. No, 7-7 on that one. We've still got 6 minutes on this, so this hasn't hit a fresh. Jared asking if it counts down. It's unlikely that the new sellers know this, or buyers. So we've got, let's just refresh this one as well. So 7,000, we've got 1 minute 2 seconds. Now, let's just remind ourselves. So now you see that's pipped back to 2 minutes. So if they didn't know, they've got to be knowing now. They've got to understand now that as they bid, so Daniel's bid again against Rich M. Ping, we've gone 2 minutes back up. So it needs a clear 2 minutes before it will end. So I guess that mimics a real auction hall. You don't get 2 minutes in a live auction hall, you know. In Vectors, if all the people are standing there, you've got maybe 10 seconds to have a think about it if the auctioneer is being kind. On eBay, it's all guns ablaze in those last few seconds. And if you throw your bid in a bit late, you're stuffed. You might throw 10 grand in on a 2 grand toy. I had that on a New Zealand Toltoys, and I missed out. I left it too late. We got 1 minute 18 seconds on this, on there. 1 minute 10 seconds. 7-8 on Hahn. I'm going to jump back into here. I feel like I'm on match day football stuff, and I'm counting down the final score. So 55 seconds on this. Hahn, Luke has leapt up to 5 grand with 4 minutes. 3.5 on Leia, with 7 minutes to go. 3,000 on 3PO with 15 minutes to go. Nearly 5 grand on, and this is Kiwi dollars, remember. So if you're in the UK, half that in pounds. Nearly 5 grand on Hahn, and we got to refresh that because we've got to keep an eye on Hahn. 25 seconds left on Hahn, and let's refresh. It's gone back up again. Beeped back up to 2 minutes again because there's been another bid in. Rich M has thrown one at 7.8. Daniel Wilkie has thrown one in at 7.8. So we're counting down that 2 minutes again. Looks like those two are the last in the running, and super interesting. 7-9 on here. We've got 1 minute 52, and we're catching up to Luke. So Luke finishes in 3 minutes, the actual original finishing time, which was is 8:13. Remember, Hahn's original finishing time was 8:05 or something like that. So they're going to start overlapping on each other, and this doesn't happen too often with many Star Wars things. I've seen it happen a few times, but holy smokes, it doesn't happen with this sort of amount of Toltoys things. Could be good for the seller, could be bad. Have a slurp of the old can there. It's 8:10 here in New Zealand. I know Jared Cope is watching this over in the UK at 9 o'clock in the morning, and let's refresh this and see what's going on with Hahn. Looks like 1 minute 50 on that, and you see I might have talked for too long then. Nope, that's pinged back 7-9 at the moment. Looks like these two are going all out on it, Daniel and Rich. Good luck to both of you. I hope whoever gets it. It's gone that way. Let's go forward again. Let's just see. Let's dive into Luke. So dive in. Here's Hahn. Here's Luke. So with 2 minutes to go on Luke, we're at $6,500. And not sure who's going in here again. So people are really focusing. So Klingsman, Stevens, they're people who are focusing on this one figure right now. Let's go back and refresh on Hahn. $8,000 again. It's jumped back up. We've got 1 minute and 30. We've just pipped $8,000. Princess Leia, let's go have a quick look at her. 4 minutes still to go on her, so we're not on auto refresh yet on Leia. We've got 4 minutes at $3,500. Let's just see who's bidding on this one. Again, we've got a couple of similar ones, but mainly new people on those ones there. Luke is in the 2 minute calling. 1 minute 23 seconds on there. Let's go back to Hahn because we don't want to miss anything. 1 minute 34, we're at 8,060. And Jared's saying it could go on forever. It could and does. So 8,000 there. And we got 57 seconds listed here on Luke. So Luke could be ending. At 6,750. Let's keep an eye on this one as it closes down. And this is where it could get really interesting. Let's just really quickly, we've got a few seconds. Let's check back on Hahn. Hahn has also got 48 seconds to go. So Luke has got 30 seconds and they're kind of not 20 seconds to go there. And Hahn's bounced back up again, 1 minute 49. Let's see what's going on with Luke. Luke has got 14 seconds to go. So we could be closing out Luke at $6,750. And let's see if this closes. It's going to go any second, way off of my thing. And so that is, and it's gone back up again. So someone's jumped back in there and had a second thought. And that's obviously people who are thinking again and wait until the last second. Sometimes in Trade Me, you find that people, probably not in these auctions, sometimes people get all the way down to that second and go, great, I've won it, and step away. And someone comes right in the last second and boots it back to 2 minutes, and the original person gets pipped out. It's happened to me on one occasion on something on Trade Me, and was really really frustrating. Right, so we've got, let's check on Hahn again. Let's see where he's going. So I'm trying to keep up with everything. 1 minute 55 on Hahn. We've got to be getting close to 44 seconds on Luke closing down. Luke is at 6,850. Hahn is at 8,160. And Leia is also in the 2 minute thing. We've got 1 minute 43 on Leia, and she's at $4,000. So Hahn 1 minute 40. And This is 1 minute 57, 1 minute 47 on that. So I don't want to lose. Now I'm going to get too many hitting. So we're at 1 minute 22 on Leia, coming to its first ending, its first cycle of ending. So if someone throws in a bid now, we're at $4,000. So 813, 814. This looks like a new bidder, Tom08. That's going to pop that back up to 2 minutes again, and I would be really surprised if that finishes at $4,000. The seller, who, if they're watching it like this, has got to be going bonkers. So Han is down to 50 seconds at 8.2, and we got 46 seconds on Han right now. It's auto refreshing. 1 minute 18 on Luke. We've got 31 seconds going down on Leia, so that could finish. So we're not sure. So Han has gone back up to 2 minutes. Let's watch Leia go down. Boom, Leia's gone straight back up again. Someone's thrown another bid in. Daniel, so Daniel's jumped off one of them. One of these buyers has jumped off. He was bidding on the on here against Rich M. Maybe he's given up on that one and he's focusing his funds down onto Leia. Could well be the case, which means we might see Han close out at $8,310. So we're in the final stage of this. 1 minute 45 seconds on Han, 1 minute 55 on Luke, and at $7,350 on Luke. $4,020 on Leia. And I'm suspecting, what have we got on 3PO, which is the next one? Let's just refresh this. What's going on here? Can't return something. That's not good. Let's look at this. 6 minutes still left on 3PO. Let's go back to Han again. It's gone back up. So back up to this one. So is Daniel still bidding, or have we got a new bidder? Yep, looks like. Go on, Daniel. He obviously wants this. 1 minute 9 seconds left on Luke. Again, we're on another win, and we've got two. Daniel's fighting those ones out there again on Luke, and we've got 2 minutes on Leia, and Daniel again is on that one. He's keen as whoever Daniel is. Got it. You got to. So 3PO. There's a few other people on here who are bidding on some of these. Let's say lower priced ones. They are certainly not low priced. Crikey, this is non-stop. It's amazing. I'm exhausted already. So Han 1 minute 58, Luke 1 minute 42, Leia 1 minute 42. We're still a little way off. Let's just go. So 4,000 on Ben. Now with 9 minutes to go, 6,000 on Vader with 7 minutes to go, 3,000 on 3PO with 5 minutes to go, and we still not a single one has actually finished yet. If people are bidding on this, unless they're using a system that helps bid for them, like that Daniel guy, he's going to be frenetic on his keyboard bidding on things. So that's got to be pretty stressful, and also they're spending a lot of money. You and me, or whoever's listening to this, because I'm sitting on my own doing this. Whoever's listening to this, we're just watching this. Let's just jump back on here and do a refresh and see what currently. So look, $34,000, unbelievable. Remember, the seller had no idea what these were worth. They put them on for $25, so 12 quid a pop, and they got 34,000, 16,000 pounds so far, and they haven't finished yet. It's definitely getting down there. It's got to be. Kidding! Look, it's pinged up again, and just bonkers. I've never seen so many resets back. Personally, I think it's a really good way to auction because it mimics a traditional auction hall. I don't know if it should go to 2 minutes. I think it should go to a minute. if you're in an auction hall, you do have that point. You do have that chance to put a bid in again. eBay, snoozing you lose. So let's see what we're doing here. Refresh. We're back up with all of those. We've got to be into the last few minutes now of 3PO. 3PO is coming down to 3 minutes. Will we get all 6 still going at the same time in the last 2 minutes? That'll be just bonkers. So, who knows? So let's refresh on that. 140 on Hahn. Let's go through. So what have we got? So on Hahn, it keeps it, when you get under the 2 minutes, it's auto refresh as well. So that keeps it crazy. Sorry, it doesn't keep it crazy. What am I talking about? Keeps it updating, certainly when you're watching it like this for me. So 53 seconds on Luke, 1 minute 50 on there, 6 minutes on, let's just refresh that in case that's slightly wrong. So we're going into the 2 minutes on that, 1 minute 59. Luke has pinged back up to 2 minutes again. We're at 7,750 on Luke. And holy smokes, Hahn has just busted the 10k mark. Someone has, and I bet I know who that is. I bet they're in Australia. And I'm going to just look quickly. Yeah, there we go. Paul in Australia. I think I know who that is, as someone who's a big Toltoys collector in the Australian group. So 15 seconds on Hahn at 10 grand. Is he going to swoop in and take it? It really looks like he might. 5 seconds, it's going to close out on Hahn on that thing. And I think, I don't think that's a bad buy in a crazy world. I don't think that's a bad buy. There we go. Congratulations, buddy. $10,000 went to Paul in Australia. Congratulations. I don't know if anyone's going to listen to this in any way, shape or form, but if you are listening to this and you were bidding on there, or Paul, if you're listening, I think I know who you are in Australia. Congratulations, mate. Awesome, beautiful pieces. So Hahn is done at 10k. We'll leave that one up. We've got 128 on there, 153 on Leia, 128, 1 minute 28 on Luke, 7,850. Now, here's the thing. Paul played it well, came in, big chunk, right at the end, no messing about. This is what I'm going to pay. He left it quite late, it's got to be said, made his mark. And that's certainly one way to do it in an auction thing. Potentially, he's going to do the same on some of these other ones as well. Maybe take a sweep. Imagine if that all went to one person. You've got to have deep pockets to do it, but hey ho, there could be a really, really good investment. Think about the Star Wars market at the moment. The Star Wars market at the moment, the vintage market, is going bonkers. I know stuff I've bought in the last few years, and I've got a big collection. Some of the prices of Toltoys, or even, carded Boba Fett figures with Book of Fett coming out, Obi-Wan stuff, signed Alec Guinness picture, whatever it might be, they're all going to go up in price. And Disney is keeping the whole thing going. So Hahn's dropped off my my watch list here because of it's sold, but that's okay. We know it went for 10 grand. We can still see it here. And congratulations, Paul. 115 bids, $25 start. Wow, 10 grand, just crazy. Okay, 54 seconds on Luke. And see what goes on there. How's Leia doing? Oop, Oh no, I thought that had finished then. It's thrown me a kind of advert on the top, but maybe it has. No. Nope, not yet. 5,650 Kiwi dollars. So, you know, £2,800 still going. 1 minute 52, $6,700 on 3PO, and the Darth auction has just entered into its first 2-minute shutdown. So it's 2 minutes shutdown. It's got 1 minute 43, and we've got $8,650 going on that one, and just bonkers, literally. Ben still got 6 minutes left on Ben, if that's correct. I'll just refresh that. 2 minutes left, 6,100 there. Let's jump back to Han. Han has finished. 1 minute on Luke. 1 minute 49 going on Leia, 5,800. 1 minute 8 seconds on 3PO. 1 minute 50 on Darth, and Darth has just jumped up to $9,000. God, Daniel, I really hope you get one. Daniel Wilkie's bidding, and we're at 9.5 now. Looking again really quickly back at Jared's tracker. Remember, one went for 20 prize premium on that, went for about 20,000 Kiwi, and that was that one we looked at in worse condition. Could this one go that high? I don't know of a Han that's been on sale for a long time. 23 seconds on Luke. Is this going to close out? $8,150 on Luke. Let's stay with this and see if it closes out. 10 seconds. I'm not sure who the highest bidder is. I don't really want to look away from it right now. Closed out $8,150. Klinsman. And let's just see if they are in New Zealand. We can click on this and go and see if they are in New Zealand, or at least buying it. Someone called Russell. He may be buying for someone else. Let's hope that one's staying in New Zealand, and congratulations to you, mate. I think that's awesome. I'm going to jump here as well. 1 minute 5 on Leia. 1 minute 45 on 3PO. 23 seconds on Darth at 9,500. 23 seconds. If that closes at 9,500, that's kind of cheap for the market. Cut 3 seconds. Man, could it go? It's somewhat. Yeah, it's gone. 9,550. Wow. That's bonkers. Let's just see who that is quickly. Well, good on you, mate. You gave a really good run, and I'm glad you got that. And I'll be honest with you, Daniel, knowing the other one sold for 24,000, take the buyer's premium off, let's say it's 18 or whatever it might be, that I think could be a really, really good investment if that's where you're going with things. Let's not talk about this. Hold on. Luke, we know, has gone out. Leia, 1 minute 24. 3PO, 47 seconds left to go. Currently at $8,000. Let's have a really quick peek. Rich M, who was battling with Daniel. Is Daniel going to come back on that one? He might let that one go, having dropped nearly 10 grand on Darth Vader. I know if I just dropped 10 grand on a Darth Vader card, I don't think I'd be bidding on something else. Okay, this got 1 minute on Leia. We know Luke's closed out. We know that Han has closed out. Leia, 49 seconds. 15 seconds on 3PO. Let's see this one close out. And see what happens here. Oh, it's gone up again. So someone's put 9 grand back on there. We know Darth. Oh, we haven't been even watching Ben. What's going on with Ben? Obi-Wan Kenobi. Beautiful card. Look at that. God, I love that card. I've got a couple of graded 12 backs and not Toltoys, unfortunately. And this is at 6,300. 1 minute 21 to go. I mean, you look at the quality of these. 3PO's a little bent up if you're going to be really finicky about it. 3 seconds on layer. $6,050. Closed. $6,050. And that has gone to Rich. And I think if Rich is in... someone just thinks that the 3PO... Someone bidding on 3PO went up $1,000 without hitting auto bid. We have an auto bid function on this, so you can put a mount in and put auto bid, and yeah, that does look like he did. Looks like Rich 00 has forgot to hit auto bid on and bidded on top of his own, which you can do, but if you hit auto bid, it doesn't bid anything unless anyone's bidding against you. And he's now managed to bid $9,000, $1,000 more dollars than he had before. I'm not laughing at you, mate, because it happens to the best of us, but that's a lot of money. That's a costly mistake. But hey ho, it still might be a good price. 17 seconds on that. 10 seconds. See what happens. 1 second, closing out on 3PO, $9,000, and he could have closed out on less than on 8 or something. So Rich 00, he could have closed because Daniel was out at 6-7. He bid 8, which is considerable jump. I don't think he meant to do that. I would imagine he meant to put that in as a auto bid, and then he did another one as a non-auto bid as well. Unless he was just doing like the other dude and making a statement. Good luck to you and congratulations, Rich. Looks like you might have got 2 there then, Rich. Did you get 2? Did you get the layer as well then? And maybe, they could be bidding for other people. So yeah, look, Rich took the layer for 6,000. Took the 3PO for 6,000. That one's gone for 9,000 on the Darth. We got 155 on Obi-Wan. Here, if I refresh, if I go into here, are they gone off my watch list? Yeah, they have. That one's closed out. We've still got the Obi-Wan going 8,250. So if I refresh this, these will disappear off my watch list. And that's understandable. This one's closed. 1 minute 21 on Obi-Wan Kenobi, sorry. Darth has finished at 9.5. 3PO finished at 9. Leia finished at 6. Do you know what? That's a really good price. I know we're talking thousands here for carded, but holy smokes. That's actually look, it's unpunched as well. Beautiful. And who took that one away? Rich got that one as well. Wow. There's some deep pockets there, brother. Luke at 8-1. Again, Klinsman, awesome. I've not seen a Toltoys Luke for sale unpunched in ages. Sometimes change hand. It's really, really clear that Paul, he wanted that Han, and if anyone comes in with a bid like that and wants something, holy moly, good on you. Okay, last one, almost done. I'm exhausted. I feel like I've been talking like a freight train. If you are watching this, I hope you've enjoyed following them. It's not been too chaotic, and I think it's a really important part of Star Wars collecting history that all these things are closing out at the same time. In a small island in the Pacific Ocean that has got a little lady in Gore in the South Island, I think it's in the South Island, with a box of Australian Toltoys in her attic she bought in 1977. Thought they were worth $25 a pop, $150. Imagine if you were car boots out and she's got them on the desk for $25. Oh, yeah, I'll take those. I think if I saw them, I'd be in two minds, and I think I'd tell her, hey, look, these might be worth a bit more than this. But this is just crazy prices. This one's picked back up to 1 minute 46 again. We'll see who's bidding on this. So the same buyer on Han, which was a guy called Paul in Australia, who I think is a big Toltoys collector, if I think it's the right person. Could be anyone called Paul in Australia. But this is, if he's come in on this, I would imagine he's going for it. Now, I am wondering where one of the Kiwi collectors called Steve was. Maybe he's a guy based in Auckland, and he said he was going to be chasing all of these, wanted to take all of them home, but maybe they went more than he thought they were going to go. And Steve, if you're listening to this, anyone in the future, sorry you missed out, bro. There's no way I could have done any of these. I would love to have added the Luke one to my collection. So what's the seller got so far? Here's the thing, as these close to an end and something to consider. Every now and then, Trade Me obviously you pay a listing fee and then you pay a percentage seller fee, and I think it's 17% or 15%. Occasionally they have days where they have no seller fees, and last Saturday when these were listed there was a no seller fee. So the seller put these on at $25 with a no seller fee. And let's do some sums. 10, 18 grand, 24 grand, 33 grand, 43 grand. Holy I've tried not to swear during this. Holy smokes. 50 plus grand. Kiwi. £25,000 ish. 50 grand. Just a few. I'm getting pinged with messages here. So this is, we got a minute going on this one. There might be a couple of people chasing this one out. It looks like possibly a new bidder. Haven't seen that name. Looks like it could be in New Zealand because of the amount of things. Don't know that buyer, but good luck to them. They're obviously diving in at this point. And I think I imagine Paul's going to make a statement with this one. Let's wait for this one to close out, and then I'm done. I'm going to have a lie down, I reckon. I'll chuck this together and maybe I'll put it on YouTube or something if I'm allowed, and we'll see. We'll share it. Maybe I'll put a link on one of the Aussie groups to the video, and everyone can watch the six figures, because there will be some people who want to buy these. I mean, I spoke to some Aussie collector friends of mine, Lee Harris, Pat O'Brien, and a few other people like that, and Dax, and they know of them. They could have bid on them. They're probably watching them, and there could be other collectors as well. I know that Brody, I don't know Brody personally, but I know of him, and I know him through Lee and Pat and people. I know he was keen to bid and could well have been bidding. Someone could have been bidding on his behalf. I'm sure we'll find out in the weeks to come, as people sometimes reveal they've got these pieces, and other times they like to keep it private, which is completely understandable when you've got figures of this sort of level. I don't. I'm not of this value. Holy moly. 9 grand. Oh, let's keep an eye on Obi-Wan. Losing track here. 1 minute 51. It's kind of loitering around. Hey, Ben. 1 minute 41 seconds. There's some talk right now that potentially the guy that was bidding under Paul sometimes on these auction sites you can't bid on some items. You can, the seller can choose that somebody with zero feedback can't bid. Obviously the seller chose and said, it's fine, whoever can bid. But when I sell things, I often put I don't want zero feedback to be bidding on it. There's some talk going around right now that the Trade Me people at Trade Me are watching this, obviously because it's such big numbers, that they thought that perhaps that account was fake. But because it's got zero feedback, and he is bidding here as well on this Obi-Wan, again zero feedback. I wonder if Paul knew that there was a potential he couldn't bid. Luckily the seller has got that feature switched off, allowing a zero feedback seller to bid. One of my friends is in contact with people at Trade Me on this, and he actually has let Trade Me know that there will probably new accounts created for these auctions due to their scarcity. And these really are, very, very rare pieces. I hope they sit in people's collections and we're not having people flipping them on straight away. People might sell them later down the line, but wow. One minute 13 seconds, 1 minute 3 seconds at Obi-Wan. 132 bids. These two are fighting out the last little bit. If it was me and I saw what Paul had done on that other one, I would probably just back out of it by now and just have done. Put a fork in it. Oh, it keeps jumping back up again. Come on, I want to go and have a cup of tea. Yeah, I wonder what the seller... Hey, if the seller's watching this at any point and the seller is this... well, I know that the seller is in Gore, and it's potentially someone selling on behalf of a lady in Gore, and I've been told that the actual owner lives in the Wellington region, and the mother had these in the attic, bought them for... I think the son, but I might not be right, bought them for their child, totally forgot about them, left them in the attic, friend found them, so the owner they were intended for was like, yeah, let's put them on Trade Me, $25. And I know it's watching all these things, and you know what, and it's one thing going on the Antiques Roadshow and being told that thing's worth this much when you've got no idea. This just must be incredible for them. I'd love to talk to them and interview them. I hope to be able to, because it would be such a nice thing to add to to this video, to be able to talk to the seller and go, what was it like? What did he think as those were rattling through, and refreshing those pages, and as we did, and as you've watched, and as I'm looking here as a Star Wars collector, someone who's really interested without the money, you know, watching these close through. And just crazy. Getting more and more message. Oh yeah. What have we got? 1 minute 30 seconds. Probably have to edit some of this stuff out. Hey. Uh, 8:46. So I've been sitting here for an hour or so now, doing this, watching these come through. Let's just go back over our list here. So Aussie Paul came in at the last minute and pipped away on the Han Solo. 12 back Australian Toltoys, $10,000 Kiwi dollars. There's no buyer's premium on that, and there's, as we've talked about, there's no seller's premium on this. And here's some of the questions. This is good, not seeing these things. Very surprised at the interests. Enjoying the bidding. Would you consider a kidney? Laugh out green watching. Well done. It's amazing. We're gobsmacked. Who needs the lotto? Watch your bids. One has no money. What they mean there is no feedback, so I don't want they're chaffing on about there. That's really interesting. Luke closed out 8,150 New Zealand dollars, and I think that went to that rich person. Would you mind confirming the cracks in the bubble? No. Just no chat on that one, so to speak. Leia closed out at 6,050 New Zealand dollars, 178 bids. I think, and there's just questions and answers. You know, look at the weapon still sellotaped in. You know, put that in a really nice plastic case from GW Acrylic. Stunning. 3PO, $9,000, 123 bids. Absolutely beautiful card. Punched. Really nice. Look at this. 1977. One photo. And Steve, sad to see you missed out, buddy. But here, when I listed these, I listed them at $25 reserve because they're old, small toys. I was unaware they were so popular, and I'm quite surprised. I'm just going to check Ben. No. Quite surprised. None have been resealed that I can see, and the back states 1977. They're certainly old. I'll put a close-up picture. Where did you get them from? Could not know that you are sitting on a gold one. Even these prices on figures are too low. Why did you keep them all this time in their packs? Surely you knew they were worth money. It's a shame you didn't know more, because advice before selling, bro, on the world market. These are like chicken having gold teeth. Okay. I think what they're trying to say is that if you'd sent them to Vectus, you would have got more money. Potentially. I don't know. Darth closing out. Let's check Ben quickly. 24 seconds. $9,000. $9,500, sorry. 24 seconds. Is this going to close out, or is it going to ping up? It's gone back up again. That's good. I bet the seller's just like, holy smokes, it's just finished now. Darth, $9,550. 12 back. And you remember, you know, looking at this one in comparison to the one listed on Tracker. Thanks, Jared, as well, for all the work you put on this. Vectus this went through. Does this, if this was the right price on the world market, does this make this one a $30,000 piece? Maybe. I don't know. Who won that one? Daniel. The guy that was racking away. Daniel, I'm pleased for you, my friend. I think you got the one that's most certainly a good buy. They all are. Can you post photos? We'll do. Added a photo. Wow, they're all 12 bucks. Beautiful collection. Thank you. I didn't know too much about them, to be honest. I just know I've got too much stuff taking up space. Something has to go. Did you buy these figures in the 70s? Not myself, no. These belong to a late relative who would have bought them back then. Do you have any other Star Wars stuff? Good on you, Mark. No, sorry. Seller added one photo. Absolutely awesome. Well done to those who had the insights to keep these stored away. This was from earlier. Hi, do you get to Invercargill where we could meet up? Yes, we do come occasionally. So, I would be letting people that aren't authenticated bid at all. I wouldn't be letting people. And that's from a collector in New Zealand who he thought he could fly down if he bought them. Absolutely. Are you crazy? 6k for a vintage Star Wars. Not sure if you realise it's not even a Kenner, but wish you all the best. So Disco, I suggest you go to Star Wars New Zealand NZ and brush up on Australian Toltoys and learn about what that is. Maybe you're new to the collecting track, and that's fine. And Obi-Wan closing, $9,600. Who took it? Paul. I am hearing that his bids will stand for Trade Me. They will let his bid stand. So hopefully, Paul, you know, apparently if he comes up trumps and the seller is okay and everything else like that, then he should it should be fine. Wow, $9,600. Now let's do this. Now they've all finished, let's go to my lost my lost part of here, and we can have a quick look. Can I make this a little bit bigger? Let's make this a bit bigger. Okay, so items I lost. View. Obi-Wan 1977, 9,600 Kiwi. Star Wars, C3PO, Toltoys, 12 pack, Toltoys Australia, $9,000. Leia, 12 pack, Toltoys Australia. These are sealed Mox originals, obviously, that we've been looking at, $6,000. Star Wars Darth Vader, Toltoys, 9,550. Now the only other one, I'm just going to do this quickly because we can. The only other one that I saw that had a sales thing on the Star Wars tracker was a 3PO, which went for $11,000. So, you know, that's sort of not that far off. But a Princess Leia, where's it gone? Princess Leia. I'm looking on Star Wars tracker. Let's slide this one over. Sorry, not that. Let's where is it? Here. Bear with me. So here is the Leia one, full details on here. So this one sold at Vectus as well, £7,000. So it was so £5,800, £7,000 with the seller's fees. So let's call it a $12,000 New Zealand. That's a good buy. Congrats. Darth closed out at 9,550. Luke closed out at 8,150, and top bid over all of them, 10 grand on the nose. Han Solo. 10, 20, 26, 34, 43, just under $53,000 for 4 carded figures that they thought were worth $25 each. That's me. I'm going to close out there as well. Hey, thanks for listening. I don't know if anyone is going to listen to this. My name's Dave Phillips. I am a vintage Star Wars collector in New Zealand, originally from the UK. Loving this. Thanks for staying and listening. And have a look in the attic. Not your attic, someone else's attic. I'm going to dive around some Kiwi attics and find some more Toltoys in the wild. All right, stay safe, folks. Take it easy.